Hello, my name is Kevin Hadawi, and I'm a Vice President of Investments for Wells Fargo Advisors. I work within their private client group, and I've been in business for about 21 years. I've been an active and proud member of the Rockwall Area Chamber of Commerce, effective my third day of moving here, October 2018. When I first got in this industry, you're studying books and you're studying programs and you're trying to learn as much as you possibly can. So I was about 3 weeks in the business, and I knew everything at that point. That's what everybody kept, at least that's what I was telling myself. And all of a sudden, I'm what's called the broker of the day, which meant the fact that I take the incoming phone calls as well as anybody who walks in the office. When that happened, all of a sudden I get a phone call, and it's my front office, and they're saying, we have a lady up front that would like to meet with an advisor. So I put on my suit coat, I walk up to the front, and as I'm walking up, I see standing there on the marble floor, she's standing there with the shoebox in her hand with the lid on top of it with papers all in it, and she's just standing there and she just looks like she needs some help. So of course I take her, I escort her back to my office, sit her at my table, have my suit on with my red tie and my white starched shirt, and I'm like, let's talk about how much I can help you. Well, I've done about 15 minutes worth of talking about how great I am and how smart I am, and at that point she stops me and she just says, young man, she reaches across the table and grabs my hand and just says, you know what? All I really want to know is, can I afford to buy groceries? Got a little bit emotional on that one right there. So the deal is that, so she reached across the table, she grabbed my hand and she stopped me and she just said, young man, all I really want to know is, can I afford to buy groceries? And I looked at her and I was like, that's when it hit me. I was trying to tell her how smart I was and how educated I was, and I really wasn't listening to her. Her comment right there made me stop, made me think about her rather than my own knowledge that I had in the industry. Needless to say, spent 2 weeks working with her, and I had her as a client until her sad passing about 2 years ago, but every day I helped her buy groceries. And so I think about it all the time. I manage money for a living, I manage businesses for a living, but in all honesty, everything that I do is to help my clients buy their groceries. What I love about owning my own business is it gives me the freedom to be able to do things I need to do for my clients, whether it is spend extra time with them, I don't have any rules that anybody else puts onto me. I like the freedom to be able to schedule my own appointments, to be able to do the time and effort that it takes to address every one of my clients' needs, whether it's today, tomorrow, or in the future. I chose Rockwall as my business home because actually we had a family that lived out here, plus half my friends that I knew from high school live out here. And so when my wife and I would come and visit, we'd hang out at the harbor, we'd hang out in downtown and have dinner or whatever we may have. And every time that we would come here, we would meet an owner, a business owner, either the restaurant or a store that we were going to. And they always kept talking about the fact that how much they love doing business in Rockwall. They love the fact that the city supports them. They love the fact that the community supports them. And so when my wife and I were looking for a place to kind of relocate and get our lives started again, Rockwall was an easy choice. During hard times, what's my inspiration? Well, I would say the fact that there's a lot of things you can get inspired about. I get inspired by my family, of course. I've got a very diverse family, and a lot of them have very different strengths, and I can draw upon those whenever I need to help get me through certain things that may be troubling. I get inspiration from my church, proud member of Sea Life here in Rockwall, and my wife and I, we enjoy going to church, and then when we're done with church, we feel kind of lifted to where we want to do more for the community and kind of help to kind of strengthen our faith. I get my inspiration as well from my Breakfast Rotary group here in Rockwall. These men and women live service above self, and they do everything that they can to better their community. You cannot help but actually be inspired to want to do more for this area than hanging out with these people. On top of that, I get a lot of inspiration, probably the majority of my business inspiration, I get it from the Chamber of Commerce. You can't walk into a Chamber of Commerce meeting or any networking event or any association group that is out there and not get a chance to meet with business owners, business leaders who are being creative, who've been innovative, who are paying attention to every detail for their clients. And you just learn from them. I soak it up like a sponge. And so I would say my most inspiration comes from just being in this community and being around these business leaders. I would say, as far as what about the business community here in Rockwall and what has created a positive impact, I think if you'd asked me that question about 3 months ago, I would have said, well, the business community supports the community in every possible way. And I would have probably given you a little bit of a canned response. Since COVID-19 has hit, I can't tell you, in my opinion, I think the business community has helped revitalize the community within Rockwall. Not only were they adjusting and being innovative to how they needed to serve their client base and their customer base, not whether it's curbside pickup, whether it's deliveries, whether it's personally delivering. They actually stayed in business, worked as hard as they possibly could to make sure that our lives at home were the best that they could possibly be. So as far as I'm concerned, what helped to keep this community going were the small businesses located here in Rockwall, Texas. Who has made my business a joy to own? Me personally, I know the fact I'm gonna have to end up buying her dinner if I say this, but I mean, I have clients and friends that help make my business really fun to own. But overall, I would say my sister Nora is the one who's helped to make my job the most fun. When I got in this industry 21 years ago, I didn't know what I was doing as well as I wanted to. It was like pushing a rock uphill. I was struggling. I couldn't connect a lot with people. And my sister just sat there one day and said, well, where's Kevin? And those two little words helped me kind of shake me a little bit and realize that if I'm gonna do this industry, I need to be myself. I need to be able to focus on my clients as myself. When I'm acting as somebody else, I can't do as well a good of a job for my clients. So my sister Nora is the one that kind of helped get the ball rolling when it came to making this job more fun. So I now know I'm definitely gonna have to buy her dinner. Maybe McDonald's. Being a part of Rockwall, I would say that when we came out here, we didn't know what to expect. But I know that the Rockwall Chamber of Commerce has done more for me and my family than I probably could have ever dreamed of. It's given me friends, it's given me co-workers and support and emotional support, financial support. I would say to anybody who's looking to want to move to Rockwall in any way, or anybody that wants to grow their business in Rockwall, you need to look at the Chamber as a way to get connected to the community and get involved in the things that are important to you. And I would look forward to meeting you when you join.